History repeats itself. History is always happening over and over again. So one of the ways to stop a theme, one of the ways to stop something from reoccurring is to first of all admit it. It didn't take long for us to quickly realize that there was power behind Mission 22, power behind its brand, power behind its message, and power behind its people that represented it.
All right, my friends, day 19 of 22, the 22-day push-up challenge. Day 19 means 418 men and women have possibly committed suicide in the last 19 days. I went and looked up my ship, the USS Rushmore. More people have killed themselves by now than ever served on our ship at one time in just 19 days.
19, 20, 21. One more. Y'all ready for the last one?
Mission 22 has become a decentralized nationwide effort to show love, to raise money, to be available for other warriors, to be able to be a point of contact, to let the warriors know, but also for warriors to let other warriors know that there is a community. You're not alone. This isn't happening in silence. You're not forgotten. We brought 4 veterans from all different parts of the United States and brought them together to hike through the state of Oregon.
May God bless you on your journey. Thank you for serving our country and for being willing to go on this walk. I'm praying you feel peace and strength with each mile.
On this hike, some folks found God, some folks remained sober, some folks lost a significant amount of weight to be able to participate. And not so much just a healing walk for us as warriors, but for us to contribute to other people's healing. This hike, we raised $12,000 for endobiogeny. Some of the folks on this hike, they're going to be volunteers for this treatment. And I couldn't be more pleased and more proud, because it was difficult. We had a lot of struggles. Not everything on this hike went pretty, but we put some skin in the game. At the end of the day, we were able to raise money, and we'll be able to use that money so guys can get treatment that they need. The War at Home Monument is an example of our social impact, of our awareness, of our permanent fixture to do the work that we can't always do, to always remind us of what we've lost and what we will lose if we don't reconcile it. What we've done is taken 20 different veterans with their families' permission and used them as a silhouette to cut out of a 3,000-pound plate of steel. These warriors are placed in a V, and this is to show the size of the problem. This is to show the empty space they leave behind. And it's also to be a constant reminder of what happens when we don't listen to the stories of the warriors that fought in our name. Because it's not okay. It's not okay that everyone didn't know about veteran suicide. It's not okay that these things were a secret or left unsaid, or that it was shameful. It's not okay that it's shameful to suffer alone and suffer in silence, because if you ask for help, that you're no longer a warrior, that you're weak.
Yeah. So I come back and I thought everybody else changed. So I pushed my family away. And it took a long time to really realize it, because I didn't want to look internally. I got my Class A CDL and hit the road. I was on the road for about 8 years trucking. And this makes me think about how insignificant all of the major things going on are. I mean, what, 1 million years ago, that blew up. And, over time became this.
Whether it's hiking mountains or building monuments, it takes a community to heal a warrior. Warriors didn't get damaged and didn't become separated from the sunlight of the spirit on their own. It happened in the name of this nation. We can change the way we think about war, how we think about warriors, how we think about ourselves, and what we think we're going to do in the American community. We can do it now. We can do it here. And there's going to be another generation of warriors coming. We can set the tone to create a culture that grabs them up and loves them and smothers them in resources and opportunity right now. History repeats itself. History is always happening over and over again. So one of the ways to stop a theme, one of the ways to stop something from reoccurring is to first of all admit it. It didn't take long for us to quickly realize that There was power behind Mission 22, power behind its brand, power behind its message, and power behind its people that represented it.
All right, my friends, day 19 of 22.
Our biggest thing is getting the word out, awareness of Mission 22, the struggle as it is to fight PTSD and suicide. My name's Corey Decker. I'm the state representative for Mission 22. The issue has been great. We got a bunch of great guys that have gotten together and decided to create this rally. The word's getting out, and it's turned into quite an event where we can actually help a lot of veterans. It's a great event, but you really have to go and see it for yourself, and it's really one of those things that's an experience. Just going that weekend, we've seen how it changes people.
When people hear a Till Valhalla project, the first thing they might think of is our shirts. But what most people don't know is that our plaques came first and the t-shirts came second. What some people might not know is that the same shirts that we make day in and day out allowed us to do unbelievable things for unbelievable people. Whether it's donating our proceeds to reduce veteran suicide or gifting handcrafted memorial plaques to the families of fallen heroes, these t-shirts simply stand for honor and freedom. Two words that wouldn't exist without our heroes. This makes Till Valhalla Project a place where fallen heroes truly live on forever.
Yes, that's why. So we'll just give them a quick brush, and then we'll get our stuff on, and then we have like an obstacle course. And so
why I'm smiling.
you don't know why you're smiling. We always smile. Smiling's the best.
The Mission 22 Equine Program is a riding program for children of veterans. We also serve grandchildren or direct family members of veterans.
It's a lot of fun, and I've always loved horses.
We have private lessons and group lessons, but it's not just riding. You know, riding lessons, people just think that that's all it is. But we have the opportunity here to really build confidence, to lower stress levels, to give them an outlet and opportunity to spend time doing something healthy and productive. Mission 22 is really based on the foundation of the importance for family. It's why we're supporting families here. So in a time where kids' programs are being canceled left and right, school is shut down, they're not able to be around their friends, you know, being able to have an opportunity where they can just be together and let go of that stress and be around people. Again, honestly, it's just really that simple, being around people. You know, who would have thought that it was something as simple as that?
That's okay. You want to grab his reins, and then I'll have you walk him forward. It's really a special thing to watch these kids come every week and build a partnership and a relationship with their horse. It lets them forget about everything that's going on in life, being able to come here, kind of shut the world out a little bit, and have a really stress-free, fun environment.
There's tons of studies that have been done on lowering of cortisol levels of children, and especially with children of veterans, often growing up in a household that can be a more stressful place, to be able to have an outlet where they can be outside, fresh air, horses around them, and just growing in that confidence.
Horses are really unique. They're very intuitive to people. They're very emotionally intelligent. They're very emotional animals, very in tune to people. They have a great way of reading people as well, that they can pick up on if you're feeling nervous or scared or excited. They're very reflective to how you feel. And so it's a great way to kind of check in with yourself and see how you're feeling, because they'll let you know.
When you're riding bareback, it's really important to think about keeping your thighs nice and snug.
Watch your spacing. Remember 1 to 2 horse lengths in between. Nice work. Yep, then you're going to go through the blue barrels, and you can weave through them, and you can walk through them.
Before we came to Central Oregon, we were based out of Portland. So we were renting an office in the city, we were having to pay to board horses, and it was getting to be exceptionally expensive. And so what it came down to was an opportunity to have a facility that we can grow programs out, that we could have the equine program on our own property, that, you know, we can continue to operate during a time that nobody really knew kind of what was happening next. And so having our own facility gave us the freedom to continue serving the families that we care about.
It's so fun to see parents come and talk to each other, and being able to kind of share stories, watch their kids together is a really neat thing. Talk about just life in general, having a place to come and to really connect with people. Obstacles.
I really like riding the horse because it's the best thing ever, and it's so exciting.
By supporting families of veterans on this property through the equine program, it really gives us the opportunity to show that importance. So we're not just supporting their kids, but we're supporting their families. They're having a community here, and building that strong family foundation builds a strong veteran. And that is something that we very much believe in, is supporting the family, supporting the veteran, and that cohesiveness together.
Welcome back to the stream. It is Wednesday night with Veterans and First Responders Night, brought to you by Icon Sim Sports. If you're in the market for the best made rig on the face of the planet, the owner, Rob Neller, makes each rig by hand in his garage, does his own powder coating, does all the graphics. You are a part of the process from start to finish. No two Icon rigs are alike. So if you're in the market for an outstanding rig, check them out at iconsimsports.com. Bought mine, I don't know, 8 months ago and haven't regretted it a minute. So check them out if you're in the market for the best rig out there. Check out Icon Sim Sports again at iconsimsports.com. Again, we are back. Veterans and First Responders Night next week, starting on Tuesday. Super Dirt Week charity event. We did play quite a few Mission 22 promos pre-race here, and all the proceeds will benefit Mission 22. They're doing great things for our veterans, so looking really forward to that. That'll be super cool. It starts on Tuesday the 19th, and it goes through Thursday the 21st. There is prize money involved, a lot of door prizes, and it is racing for a very good cause of folks at Mission 22. So greatly appreciate it. Make sure you go out there, check out c2crl.com to get signed up for that. And we are on the track. We are with your 305 Veterans and First Responders points leader, Andy Patton, in the 87 Air Force machine. However, Patrick Spangler puts it at the top of the board with a 14.260, followed by Jeff Baker. Now Andy Patton puts the 87 Air Force car on the front row, the 14.206. Good run by Andy Patton. Bob the Good going off the edge, 513 car. Mr. Jeff Barker is with us, as he is almost every Veterans and First Responders night. Greatly appreciate Jeff's support. And the 513 Marine machine just finishing up, running 5th quick with a 14.417. Brad Wright just finishing up 8th quick. We do have 8 cars in the field tonight. So again, not a huge Veterans and First Responders field, but we have had some super racing, so that's good to see. Waiting for them to finish up. We will take a look at the points. Andy Patton, as I mentioned earlier, is in the lead. Jeffrey Barker, P2. Ryan Pendleton, I don't see Ryan in the field tonight. Usually gets off work. Active duty Navy driver is 3rd. Bob the Good in 4th. Gary Taylor is in 5th position. He moved up 6th last week. So good run by Gary Taylor last week. Heat 1, Mr. Bob the Good on the front row, followed by Jeff Barker in P2, Ross Corenta, Chris Schaefer in row number 2, and Nathan Aldridge is not in the race, I don't think. We are going to be running 8 laps. Everyone will be headed to the feature due to the number of drivers that we have in the field tonight. Mr. Bob the Good in the 7 machine, Air Force driver, Can-Am Racing Team will bring us to the green flag. Starts are on the green. Again, 8 laps. Typically in Coast-to-Coast racing, top 4 head to the show, but tonight everyone will obviously head to the show with the numbers that we have. We got an exciting show coming up following the Veterans and First Responders 305s. We will go into the Midgets at Kokomo, I believe, and we'll close out the night with 410 sprint cars right here at Lernerville. So that should be a cool race. Tempt the edge in a 410. So we'll see how the drivers of the 410s do later on this evening. We are just waiting for Nathan Aldridge, who will not be gridding. He is the admin. I'd like to thank Nathan. Nathan is always willing to pitch in, and he's been with Coast to Coast Racing League longer than I have, and he's been doing admin for Coast to Coast. So can always count on Nate to help out. Greatly appreciated by Coast to Coast. If you are interested in helping out Coast to Coast Racing League, check them out. Get a hold of Roger Craig. Let him know you would like to help. Looking for admins, reviewers, all different kinds of positions to volunteer. Again, 7-car Bob the Good on the front row, Can-Am Racing Team. Jeff Barker to his outside in the 513. Chris Schaefer in 3rd. Ross Corenta to his outside. Drivers were inverted from qualifying. They do invert the top 4. So your quick qualifier is 0-1-0 of Corenta. Oh, my apologies, of Chris Schaefer in the 23 car is your quick qualifier tonight. Got one more to go. Bob the Good will bring him to the green flag. Got 6 laps to get it done, not 8. Normal heat races are 8. Veterans and first responders run 6-lap heat races. They do clear black flags for veterans and first responders and do waiver rounds, which is not done in any other events on Coast to Coast Racing League. We are coming to the green flag. The pace truck is off, as is the 7 car of Bob the Good. Barker with a slight edge at the line. The Good dives down low. The 513. The Marine Machine is outside. Great run off that top side. Put Barker to the top of the board with Chris Schaefer behind him. Schaefer thinking about going down low. Looks like that high line, if you can hit it, is the place to be. Again, Chris Schaefer down low in the 23. Bob the Good falls back with Quarenta to his inside. 10 car down low, slide job, slides up in front of the 7 car of the Good. Up front, Barker handling his business in the 513. Second place in the Veterans and First Responders points battle. Chris Schaefer behind him in the 23 car. Looks like everyone has got into a line. Now the trick is, once you're in line, not to go over the edge here, not to push it too much. Looks like everybody is running that high line. The bottom line will probably come in late race. Go on board with Chris Schaefer. Run around. P2, Brad Wright, Gary Taylor on the front row, Patrick Spangler, and your points leader, Andy Patton, in row number 2, 4 cars in heat number 2. As always, if you tuned in, greatly appreciate it. If you're coming back, welcome back. If you are new, welcome to the show. Got your 6 Racing Network, works 100% on feedback. If you're doing something, if we are doing something that you like, let us know. More importantly, if we're doing something you don't like, let us know that also. It's the only way we are going to improve. Gary Taylor in the 30, or the 2, Brad Wright in a 270 car on the front row, going to bring him to the green flag. Got Gary Taylor to his outside in the 34 machine. Your points leader starting 4th in the 87. Pace truck is off. Green flag is out. Gary Taylor with a slight edge at the line. Looks like they are going to take it 3 wide. 39, Patrick Spangler down. They make contact. Wright and Spangler make contact. Taylor to the lead. Andy Patton in the 87 car trying that low line early. Up front, Gary Taylor leading the way. Andy Patton in second. Spangler and Brad Wright are currently in the pits. Look back from Taylor to your points leader, Patton. Patton closing in on your leader. Don't know how hard he'll push it. 87 car diving down low, trying to check out that bottom line. And once this track gets wore out, with a lot of cars on the track, that bottom can't come in late race. I don't know if that will be the case tonight with as few cars we have. Gary Taylor out to almost a second gap over the 87 of Patton. We will go into 5 minutes of warm-up, so we will return momentarily.
One, two, three. I love it, Molly.
They say it's a matter of time, 1,000 days and the sun won't shine before I come back to you. For your love I will go far, I wanna be wherever you are. I know I'm coming back for you.
Brother, it's good to see you.
Our love is a river long, the best ride in a million wrongs. I know I'm coming back to you. And I'm happy, nothing's going to stop me. And I'm happy, nothing's going to stop me. I'm making my way home, I'm making my way.
Cool Ray has always been a leader in our industry.
The lifetime parts and labor warranty is pretty awesome. Basically, all the parts are covered, the labor and everything.
When we say lifetime, we mean lifetime, and it's supported with money-back guarantees. And with that, you're getting all qualified technicians that are going to ensure that this job is done perfectly and operates perfectly throughout the life of the unit.
Learn more about our Coolray lifetime parts and labor warranty at coolray.com. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the expert.
Welcome back. Just finish up warm-ups. We are about to go feature racing. Let's see what the field looks like for your feature. Jeff Barker and Gary Taylor on the front row. Chris Schaefer, Andy Patton in row number 2. Ross Corinta and Patrick Spangler in 3. Bob DeGood and Brad Wright in the 4th and final row. Barker could look at making up some points on Andy Patton this race. Andy Patton currently your leader. Got quite a lead over the field. 40-something points. With a good night, Jeff Barker could cut into that lead a little bit. Let's see if the 513 Marine Machine can get around Lernerville. We are going to be running 30 laps. Plenty of time for the track to slick up and become a whole new race, late race. Gary Taylor, Canadian driver, to his outside in the 34. 513 Can-Am Racing Team driver. Like to thank Barker for his service. Gary Taylor to his outside, teammate Can-Am Racing. 513 and 35 on the front row, both Can-Am Racing Team drivers. Let's see if they play nice or go at it right away. We shall see. We do have one to go. Will be the 513 that brings them to the line. Start is on green. Looks like they are lined up. Watch the 23 of Schaefer on the inside. Chris could sneak in there and get a win. Pace truck is off. Green flag is out. Good start. 34 up high. 513 down low. 34 gets a good run. No, the 513 pulls back even. Barker might have found some grip down low. He got to drive off that bottom side. He loses it in turn 4, but found something at the exit of turn 2. Patton goes down to give it a try. 87 car side by side with Barker. Patton down low. Looks like so far 1 and 2 down low might be the place to run, but 3 and 4 up high seems to prevail every time. 34 car of Gary Taylor up high. 513 of Barker right in his tire tracks. 87 car still trying that down low line. Chris Schaefer in the 23 car up high on the cushion. The 10 car slides up in front of Schaefer. Put Ross Corinta up to P4. Andy Patton still beating that low line. Go on board with Barker and see what he sees. Of course, in sprint cars, that isn't the best view, so we'll go with this one. Barker behind your leader, the 34 of Taylor. You can see Taylor running a little lower line than the 513 in 1 and 2. Taylor, boy, he flirted with that top edge. Barker off that top side. Not sure if Andy Patton got the lead there. You're two up front. We're battling it out. See if we can get a view of what happened. 513 and the 34 up high, 34 over rotates. Man, that caused a mess. So give the lead to your points leader, Andy Patton, in the 87 Air Force machine. To the point. Cars are stopped on the track, waiting for the pace truck to catch up. Those drivers will get their laps back and bring the field back together, so this should be interesting. Andy Patton on the point. Chris Schaefer behind him in the 23 machine, followed by Spangler, Wright, the Good, and Barker. Ross Correnta still in the pits, getting damage repaired. Looks like the lights are off on the pace truck. This restart will be on the 87. He will own the start once the pace truck exits. Andy Patton has control of the field. He is off, gets a good jump on the 23. Watch out for Spangler in the 051 machine. 39 on your screen. Spangler and Schaefer side by side. Schaefer up high. Spangler down low. Spangler falls in line. 23. Car of Schaefer decides to change his line now. He goes down low. Andy Patton at the front of the field, pulling away. Currently with almost a second gap over second place, the 23 car of Schaefer. Patrick Spangler in the 39 car. Those two running side by side, trying to find a way around each other. Brad Wright currently in fourth position in the 270. Bob the Good in the 7 trying that bottom line. Jeff Barker back in the mix. The 513 car back in 6th position. Still on that high side. The great run off the top gets by Bob the Good. Put Barker up to 5th position. You're not missing much up front. Andy Patton has opened up over a second gap. These two are battling it out. Schaefer in the 23. Spangler in the 39 car. They are swapping ends. One end, 3 and 4. The 23 car runs down low. Team SSR, Patrick Spangler in the 39 car. Tries that bottom line. Schaefer up high. Schaefer gets a great run off that top side. Black Bullet Racing elite driver in the 23. Great looking machine. Brad Wright in 4th. Barker now battling it out. Barker lets the 10 go. Caution is back out. Not sure why. Oh, 513 once again off the top side into the wall off of turn 4. Andy Patton still up front, your points leader. He's looking at a possibility of extending his points lead, working lap 17 of 30. Cars are getting their laps back as they go by. Schaefer and Spangler putting on a heck of a show for the 2nd position. Patton, Schaefer, Spangler, Wright, the Good are your top 5. Jeff Barker second in the points in the 513 Marine Machine in the pits currently. Don't know if Jeff's going to call it a night. Lights are off on the pace truck. 87 car will bring them to the green flag. Working against lap 17 of 30. Got a ways to go here. A lot can happen, especially at Lernerville. Ace truck is off. 87 car Patton is off. 23 car gets a good jump on the field. Chris Schaefer in second. Spangler in third. These two have been battling it out for that P2. Looks like Patton's changing his line, running that bottom line. We saw him do that early in warm-ups, testing it out. Seems like he liked it. Chris Schaefer currently in P2. Pulling away from Spangler this run. Working lap 19 of 30. Brad Wright in the 270 machine down low. Ross Correnta in the 10 machine. He's on the high side. Patton staying down low. Schaefer right behind him. Spangler in P3. Everyone is kind of spread out across the track. Andy Patton with over a half-second lead over second place. 39 car cuts into Schaefer's lead for P2 a little bit there. Brad Wright in the 270 about to be under attack from Correnta in the 010 machine. Ross has that machine working up high. It's a good run off the top side. Up front, your top three getting spread out a little bit. Spangler all the way down on the grass, swings out wide. On board with Spangler in P3. Looks like Chris Schaefer closing in on the 87 car a little bit. Has that gap under a half second. Two laps to go. 87 car up front. Chris Schaefer trying to close that gap. Caution comes out with 2 laps to go. Not sure what happened. Let's take a look. The 10 car tipped in the fade of that high line, just goes over the top. So we will have a 2-lap shootout. Patton followed by Schaefer, Spangler to good. Correnta are your top 5. Jeff Barker back in the race. He's up to P6 in the 513. He is getting his laps back. Somebody's smoking. That might be the 34 car. Gary Taylor's going to take it. Oh, he's going to get his wave around. Not sure if that machine, he doesn't have any sheet metal on the front of that car. See if he can limp it around for 2 more laps before it gives up. Andy Patton up front, followed by Schaefer, Spangler to good, and Quinta. Patton is off. Decent jump on second place, Schaefer. Schaefer and Spangler been together all night. Will Spangler be able to make something happen here with just a couple laps to go? In fact, everybody's moving lower on the racetrack. Patton up front, 1 to go. Spangler digging hard. 2 corners to go, and your points leader put it in victory lane, and he will. Great attempt by Spangler in the end. Patton, Spangler, or Schaefer, Spangler to good. Corintha, Barker comes home P6. Gary Taylor and Brad Wright round out your field of 8. We will get a word with your winners as soon as they get their podium shots. Great finish. Patrick Spangler came up just short. He was running the bottom hard, trying to get underneath the 23 car of Schaefer. We will get a word with those drivers here momentarily as soon as they get their podium pictures done. Great run by the 87 car, your points leader. Looks like we got Chris Schaefer in the booth waiting on Spangler and Patton to come in. While we wait, we'll get a word with second place finisher in the 23 car, Mr. Christopher Schaefer. Chris, Joe, you got me?
I got you, Joe.
Hey, man, great run, brother. Man, you were running for second once Andy got out front. I'm not sure anybody had anything for the 87, but you and Spangler, man, you guys were going at it. Did the track change at all with this small number of cars?
Yeah, it started to get slick, especially the top. I mean, the middle was still tacky. There's some different lines. You can move around. It's getting racy.
Looked like that bottom started to come in. I know Patton, we were watching him pre-race. He was running the bottom just to give it a try. Early in the feature, no one could get a run off that bottom side. Top side was definitely the place to be. You were able to hold off Spangler. How'd you do it, man?
To be honest, I don't know. I mean, Patrick's an old teammate of mine, and this is his hometown track, and he usually runs really, really good here. And it could just be because the track was still pretty tacky, and I was running the groove that maybe was kind of blocking him a little bit, but I wasn't like blocking him. It was just holding him up.
Yeah, man, great run by you, man. A podium finish. Take a second place any day of the week. You got anybody you'd like to thank for your run?
Yeah, I gotta thank Roger and you guys for the league and you guys putting on the broadcast. I gotta thank my guys over at BBR, my teammates, ABR Setup Shop, HRT Cinematography, CT Graphics, DeBoo's Welding, GMR Giddings Mobile Repair, and I got Pole Buildings USA, and all my sponsors, man.
Man, great run for you, my friend. Take a podium again any day of the week. Are you going to run midgets and the 410s?
I'm not going to run the midgets, but I'll probably be back for the 410s.
Right on, man. We'll see you. We'll catch up with you then. Hopefully you're back on the podium.
Yes, sir. Hopefully.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the 23 car of Chris Schaefer puts it P2. None of the other drivers came into the broadcast booth, which we'll catch up with them later. We are getting ready to go to break, and don't forget that coming up next, are the Midgets at Kokomo. So that'll be exciting. So we will take a break and we will be right back as we switch over to Kokomo.
In our industry.
The lifetime parts and labor warranty is pretty awesome. Basically, all the parts are covered, the labor and everything.
When we say lifetime, we mean lifetime, and it's supported with money-back guarantees. And with that, you're getting all qualified technicians that are going to ensure that this job is done perfectly and operates perfectly throughout the life of the unit.
Learn more about our Coolray lifetime parts and labor warranty at Coolray.com. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
Welcome back. This is the wingless part of the Veterans and First Responders Night, brought to you by Icon Sim Sports. We are back at Kokomo, Indiana. This should be a ton of fun. We got the Midgets running around. Terry Landis, Kevin Fry, Templeton, Barker DeGood are your top 5 in the current point standings. Kokomo and Midgets is always a great show. Cars are super fun to drive. Can be very frustrating at times, but this should be a good show. Jeff Filaro in the 200 car with a 12.755 at the top of the board in practice. We should be advancing to qualifying here very shortly. Great turnout. Looks like we have 19 cars that showed up to run tonight. So this should be a really cool show. Looks like they have advanced to qualifying, so we'll see who comes out on the track first. Let's see who is first out. Brandon Templeton in the 31 machine. Iowa driver, Icon Sim Sports, and one of my teammates, all around great guy. Had some crazy weather up in Iowa today. Brandon was talking about. Brandon currently up 4 positions last week, up to 3rd in the points. Slinging the 31 car. He's talking to us on Discord today. I guess Knoxville had to cancel their race this weekend. 13.089. Daniel Vaught to the top of the board with a 0.18. Zach Chapman in the 72 machine. Brandon Templeton back to the top. Then Kevin Fry with a 12.973 to the top of the board. Chapman currently 5th quick in the 72 machine. Jeff Barker just finishing up 10th quick. Bob Evertson with us in the 008 car, currently 13th. See if he can improve. Yes, he can. Up to 7th quick with a 13.133. Last year's points champion Jack Hitt, currently 6th quick in the Hooters machine. Kevin Fry, put the 200 car Filaro with a 12.718 to the top of the board. Fry currently 4th quick. Tyler Wilson just finishing up. Looks like that is it for your qualifying. Evertson out there getting some laps. Put Canadian driver Jeff Filaro to the top of the board. Again with a 12.718. Filaro, Spangler, Boutte, Fry, Templeton are your top 5. Bob Everson currently still out on the track, getting some practice laps in as the time winds down. The 00A car of Everton had a great run last week. Currently running 9th in the points. He did not race last week, which dropped him 6 points. So he was up there last week. Back at it this week. Randy Shreves in the 56 machine out on the track. Still time for the 56 car, sprint car driver. Shreves up to 15 quick with a 13.412. Quick time goes to Jeff Filaro. Heat 1, Zach Chapman. Jack Hitt on the front row. Kevin Fry, Jeff Filaro in row number 2. Barker Wilson in 3. John Hine joins the field, the 7th car driver. They do invert the top 4 in Coast2Coast racing, so your quick time qualifier, Jeff Filaro, starting in P4. Last year's champion, Jack Hitt, starting P2 outside of Zach Chapman. Jeff Barker in the 513 Marine Machine is back with us. We saw him run last race. Ran into some problems early. Kevin Fry in the 21 is with us. The 2-1 Designs Machine sponsors our 410 race coming up after this back at Lernerville. 2-1 Design doing wraps and real life on RC cars. Pretty cool looking stuff. Check them out on Facebook. We are waiting for John Hine to take to the track. John Hine has not gridded yet. Gambler Motorsports Zach Chapman puts the 72 on the front row. This is a tough heat race with Chapman, Hit, Fry, Falero, Barker, and Wilson. That's pretty stacked. The restart will be on green. They're running 8 laps. Top 4 heading to the feature, although everyone will go to the feature tonight. 72 of Chapman will bring him to the green flag. Again, he's got last year's champion to his outside, Jack Hitt. Jack not having as good of a year yet, but it is still early. Jack currently 10th in the points. Zach Chapman trying to punch his ticket to a pole position in the feature. Pace truck is off. We will take the slow crawl to the green flag. This one's hard to call. I'd say watch the 21 starting in P3. Green flag is out, as is the 72 of Chapman. Jack Hitt up to second position in the 217 car. There's your qualifying quick time. Jeff Falero flinging the 200 around, carrying the front wheels off of turn 2. Slides underneath the 217 of Hitt. Zach Chapman holding the lead. Falero closing in on Chapman. Chapman running down low. Working the throttle. Chapman gets loose. We are working lap 5 of 8. Falero dives underneath, gets underneath the 72. They make a little bit of contact. That doesn't happen too often where open wheel cars don't end up in a big mess. Put the 200, your quick time driver, to the point. Zach Chapman back to second. Jack Hitt in third. Tyler Wilson in the 042 car back with Kevin Fry. Kevin Fry ran into early problems on lap number 1. Jeff Barker rounds out your field of 6 drivers. John Hine did not take the green flag. As you see, the white flag is waving. 1 to go. 200 car pulling away from the field. Jack Hitt in second. Jack running a little bit higher line. The 217 car is the only car running that high line. Good run by those guys. Heat 2, Bob the Good and Bob Evertson on the front row. Brandon Templeton, Patrick Spangler in row number 2. Jeffrey Kempfer and Donovan Ross in row number 3. Waiting for Evertson to take the grid. Bob DeGood currently 5th in the points. Brandon Templeton is 3rd, right behind him. Don't see Evertson on the list. Patrick Spangler, your quick qualifier out of this group of 6 cars. But the 7 car of the good will bring them to the green flag. Restart is on green. They're running 8 laps. Everyone headed to the feature. Great track for midget racing here at Kokomo. Home of Grissom Air Force Base, actually, on the other side of town. Pace truck is off. Bob DeGood in the 7 car going to bring him to the flag. Starting that slow drive. Green flag is out. 7 car is off. Bob DeGood running the middle. You got the 31 car of Templeton down low. Templeton and Spangler were going to go side by side. Somebody up in the wall, didn't see who. Spangler to the point in the 39 machine. Templeton in second. Bob Everson takes over the 3rd position in the 008 car. Bob DeGood back to 4th position. He takes 3rd back from Everson. Everson runs into a little bit of problems. Donovan Ross in the 5 machine. Good looking P40 machine. Jeffrey Kemper in the 181 back there with him. Up front, Spangler, Templeton going at it. Spangler running down low. 31 car of Templeton running up high. Running lap 6 of 8. You saw Spangler carry the front tires through 1 and 2. Templeton trying to run off that top side, working lap 7 of 8. Spangler stays down low. DeGood in second. Donovan Ross now in the 5 car. Love the paint scheme on the 5 car, running up high. Looks like Templeton and Spangler will bring it to the line. This is the last lap. Spangler, Templeton, DeGood, Ross, Everson, Kemper in that order. Heat 3, Nick Vickery and Terry Landis on the front row. Daniel Vaught and Brute on row number 2. Randy Shreves and Mike Cramner round out your field of 6 drivers for heat number 3. Terry Landis currently the leader in points on the outside of Nick Vickery. 00 Vickery and Spartan Racing Machine is trying to kind of hard to get by in any vehicle. We'll see if that holds true here for the midgets. Vickery in the 00. 61 outside of him is your points leader, the Yoo-Hoo driver, Terry Landis out of California. Pace shrug is off.
Green flag, green flag.
Spangler dives down low, slides up high. Looks like we almost had a mess up high. Daniel Vaught comes out with the lead, battling it out. Nick Vickery up high in the 00 machine. Looks like Vickery gets a great run off that top side, gets by Daniel Vaught in the 180 machine. Great run by these drivers, Daniel Vaught and Brute. Brute went up high with Vickery. Vickery getting a great run. He's over a half-second lead on the field. Your points leader, Terry Landis, falls back to P4. Up front, 00, Nick Vickery leading the way, running that high line. Right along with Nick for a lap around Kokomo. Has that high line dialed in, running right on that cushion. Behind him, Michael Berthet in the 95 machine will look out the back of Vickery. Vickery and Berthet battling it out. This is lap 8 of 8. Vickery gets the victory. Terry Landis in the 61 car third. Daniel Vaught brings it home fourth. Next on docket is the B main. Kevin Fry and Bob Everson on the front row. Cramner and Barker in row 2. Kemper Shreves in row number 3. John Hine once again is the 7th and final driver. John Hine has not joined us yet. We will see if he does for this event. '21 car Kevin Fry will start us on the front row with Everson to his outside. This should be a battle. We got 10 laps. Again, everyone headed to the feature. Shreves coming from the back in the 56. Keep an eye on that 56 car. Kevin Fry will bring us to the green flag. Green flag is out. Fry is off. Everson falls in line behind Fry. Fry swings up high, gets on that high line quick. We saw the 00 Vickery run that high line to perfection. We got a group of cars all on that bottom line. Jeffrey Kemper in the 181, currently P3, saw Everson go by on the low side. 56 of Shreves is up to 4th position. 513 Marine Machine, Jeff Barker in 5th. Mike Cramner in the 70, and John Hine is in the race, so joined us a little bit late. Up front, Kevin Fry with over a second gap on second place. Everson in the 008 Machine, a BBR racer. Jeff Kemper on the high side in the 181. Driver from Oregon. Jeff Barker and Randy Shreves. Barker down low in the 513. Shreves up high in the 56 Machine. You're not missing much up front. Look like Everson may have cut into that lead, but Fry extends back out to over a second gap over Bob Everson in the 008 Machine, the BBR driver. Can-Am Racing Team member Barker in the 513 up to P4. Randy Shreves driving for LGR Motorsports up to P5. Great run by these guys. What fun it is to run a midget around Kokomo. The white flag is out. Kevin Fry has a one more turn. Looks like Kemper was coming on that high side. Kemper makes it happen on the last lap. Move Kemper up to P2. Everson P3. Barker 4. Randy Shreves 5. Great run by Kemper. Kemper got a good run off that top side and was able to get by. We have a few minutes of warm-up, so we will be right back. Back. They are just finishing up their warm-up session. Jeff Valero, your qualifying quick time driver, puts it back at the top of the board. With a 12.797, followed by Chapman, Templeton, Bott, and Fry, your top 5 in warm-up. Should be interesting feature that we have going on. Jeff Valero, Patrick Spangler are on the front row. Vickery hit row 2. Templeton, Broussais in 3. Chapman, DeGood in 4. Landis, Wilson in 5. Ross, Vaught in 6. Fry, Kemper in 7. Everson, Barker in 8. Shreves, Cramner in row number 9. John Hine rounds out your field of 19 drivers. Up front, 200 car of Valero's having a great night. We'll start the 200 from the pole and bring them to the green flag. Pace truck has the field. A lot of speed up front, so this should be interesting. We will try to keep up. Kokomo's kind of hard to follow all the action, but we will do our best. Pace truck is off. Field is tightening up. .200 car of Valero's going to bring him to the green flag. Green flag is out. Falero is off with Patrick Spangler to his outside. Brandon Templeton thought about taking it 3 wide there. Falero, Spangler still hold the top 2 positions. Jack Hitt in the 217 car up to P3. Running 30 laps. Don't know who that was in the back. Somebody came across the track. Great run by these drivers. This is fun to watch. You got 4 wide going into turn number 1. Everybody makes it through okay. Falero out front by over a second gap over Nick Vickery now. The caution does come out. As you see it right in front of you, right at the flag stand. Not real sure what happened. We shall check it out. 5 car gets into the side of somebody, not sure who. Up front, Falero leading the way. Been quick all night. Nick Vickery, let's see. Nick is up 1 position. Falero, Vickery, Spangler, Boutte, Templeton are your top 5. Jack Hitt, Landis, Chapman, DeGood, and Wilson round out your top 10. Your points leader, Terry Landis. I didn't catch what position he is in. We will see it next time by here. Terry Landis up 2 positions, currently running in P7. Going to make up some points. Kevin Fry running in the back of the field. Pace truck is off. This restart will be on the 200 car. We will go on board with Nick Vickery. Vickery up high. Falero dives down low. Spartan Racing 00 car got trying to make that high line work. Now he drops it down a lane or 2. Patrick Spangler in the 39 car trying to get by on that low side. Looks like that low side might come in. Vickery back to 3rd, followed by Brute in the 95. Brandon Templeton slides by up to P4. Jack Hitt in the 217 Hooters machine up to 6th. Terry Landis in 7th, your points leader, running in 7th position. Boy, that was Zach Chapman. Holy cow, he came dangerously close to that tire. Zach Chapman running in 8th, Everson in 9th, and Bob DeGood running in 10th position. Up front, Falero holding on to a lead. Patrick Spangler's cut into that lead a little bit. Watch the 39 car getting racy up front. Brandon Templeton up to P3. 31 car doing some work. Got Nick Vickery in the 00 Spartan Racing machine to his outside. Templeton running low in the 31 Icon machine. Vickery running high. Brute in the 95 car. Oh, your points leader had all kinds of problems. Not sure what happened. Is that Chapman? Chapman up into that top wall. Everyone else seems to get by okay. Working lap 14 of 30. Falero at the point. Jeff Falero once again will bring us to the green flag. Look out the back of the 200 car at second place. SSR driver Randy Shreves, or Patrick Spangler, my apologies. Falero gets a good jump on the field. Spangler battling for the lead. Spangler down low, he gets underneath the 200 car. Puts Spangler to the point, running that low line. Working the throttle. Falero back to P2, falls in line. A couple of cars hard up into the fence. Spangler makes a pass, put the 39 car, Team SSR driver to the point. Good run by him. Falero in second in the 200. Brandon Templeton in the 31 running third. Nick Vickery in the 00 running in fourth. Working lap 15 of 30, about halfway there. Nick Vickery getting into the wall on the final lap. The 00 car. Jack Hitt up in the booth. Jack, this is Joe. You got me?
Yeah, you got me?
Yeah, man. Good run. You were down a little bit, and then you came back in that Hooters machine. You finished on the podium. How was your run, man? How'd the track change? How'd everything go?
Oh, well, it feels good to finally have a decent run here. I've had a pretty terrible start to the season. One of those early laps, I just kind of lost it in 1 and 2 and lost a few spots. And I thought, here we go again, about to be out of another race. But not sure what happened to Nick there at the end, but I'm glad to get on the podium finally.
Yeah, man, Nick got up into the fence on the high side. We were actually talking about you in the early sections of the race, coming off a championship. It's still early, man. You got time, and obviously you are running well. You got anybody you'd like to thank for your run?
I just got to thank everybody at the league behind the scenes, and you for putting on the broadcast, of course, every week, doing a great job. And thank you to my wife for just, allowing me the time to get away and do this every week.
Yeah, man, great run. So hopefully this is a string of podiums for the 217 machine.
Hope so. I'll see you next week.
Ladies and gentlemen, 217 car of Jack Hitt puts last year's champion, puts the 217 back on the podium. It's been a while, but I'm sure he will get that back, and it won't be long though he's back on the podium. Second place finisher Jeff Falero in the 200 car, your qualifying quick time. Jeff, this is Joe. You got me? Jeff Falero's Joe. You got me? Jeff Valeros, Joe, you got me? Looks like we cannot get a word. We'll try one more time. Jeff Valeros, this is Joe, you got me? Jeff Valero is not reachable. The 39 car, Patrick Spangler, put on a great show tonight. Started outside pole, made the pass, and ended up in victory lane. Patrick, this is Joe, you got me?
Yep, gotcha.
Man, what a great run by you, man. Once you got in the lead, didn't look like anybody was going to get by you. How did the track change? I saw the cars behind you switch to the high side. You stayed down low. Did you ever think about going up high?
No, iRacing is broken right now in the midgets, so mainly the low line will be fast at every track. So I wish they would fix it so it would be more racy, but I just ran deep into the turn one after that one restart and got flare on the inside. And I knew as long as I kept it close to the tractor tires and park it on the tractor tires, I'd probably have a good chance at winning it.
Yeah, man, good run by you, man. You ran up front. I don't know how many laps you led, but you got there in a big hurry. You got anybody you'd like to thank for your run?
Just like thank Team SSR, ESRN with them, Jordan Eder for doing the paint, and Dad and Uncle for watching back home, for Roger for putting on this league, and for you for broadcasting tonight and everything you do for Mission 22 and Got Your 6 Racing Network.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Great run by you, my friend. And where are we going to see you in the 410 sprint cars?
Yeah, Lernerville is my favorite track, so I'm definitely going to be there for that one. Hopefully I can have a good showing there too.
All right, man, maybe we'll talk to you again. Good run, and we will see you coming up next.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your midgets for tonight. We will transfer back over to Lernerville, so we will be right back.
I'm Chris Jakimick, and I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. Throughout my military career, I spent the bulk of my career out in Las Vegas. It was the first job I had as I was protecting some sensitive resources out there at Nellis. I would deployed to Kuwait early on in my military career with a larger weaponry system to support Operation Southern Watch. And then from 2003 to 2006, I was part of the emerging drone mission for the United States Air Force and Department of Defense. We were fighting the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan from our backyard. You'd be in war for 12 hours of your shift, and then you'd drive home to your apartment here in Nevada. So psychologically, it was very odd. Like, you felt you were in the combat zone every day because you were seeing it on the screens and it was that important. But I don't know what it did to the human psyche at the time. Some things would kind of happen in my personal life after that would change a lot. When Adam joined the Marine Corps, it was a natural fit. Anybody who joins the military, especially after 9/11 happened, you're looking for that purpose. I think that's why he made the choice. It's like, let me go be a Marine. He was in between Fallujah and Ramadi during the heaviest parts of the fighting of the Iraq conflict. I mean, you hear guys like Jocko and everything talk about like the triangle of death. My brother was dead set in the middle of the triangle of death with a Marine unit. I think it changed him. Like, you look at everything across history, you read any of the books out there, war changes anybody that's been involved with it. Trauma or mass events like that changes anybody, and it really changed my brother. And I get that call. I get the text, actually, from my stepmom. Was like, you need to call me as soon as possible. Something's wrong with Adam. All right. Didn't think anything of it. And I'm about to pull off the highway to go celebrate and have some pizza with my classmates, and she's like, Adam's dead. Adam's dead. He had died by suicide that day, 25th of July, 2017. And it changed my world forever.
I think that was the first time I saw or heard someone broken through the phone. There was a time where I was concerned that he wasn't going to make it. There were times I thought, we're going to have to camp out outside of his house, or we might get that phone call. Are we ready for that phone call?
I couldn't catch a break. A fellow first sergeant I served with, he had died by suicide. On the day of my buddy's funeral, I'm going through social media, and I see this, what appears to be a manifesto from one of my old airmen. My first thought was like, today's not going to be a good day. And sadly, my hunch was right. He had killed his own family and taken his own life on the day of my buddy's funeral. It was just compounding trauma after trauma after trauma. I cracked. I fell hard with alcohol. That was rock bottom. I first heard about Mission 22 just by like surfing the internet and looking on there and seeing some of the programs that they had available. I was like, something seems right about this. To be in a program like the R&R program with them and the innovative things that they're putting together, I have not seen in any other veteran nonprofit. It's putting all this stuff together to heal in the most effective way possible. They're making you do a lot of the hard work through reading, through audiobooks, through physical fitness, through nutrition, open discussion, critical thinking, neuroplasticity and cognitive feedback to where you're developing the brain more. It's given me a chance to regain my life. Cycling's been a big part of my recovery. Is around the time I retired a little over a year ago, I set forth, I was like, let me set this goal to ride 2,020 miles in 2020 for another veteran nonprofit that supports Gold Star families and those lost either to accident or to suicide. Every time I got on that bike, I was like, you know what? There's a name, there's a dash that I'm gonna honor today. Not the dates on the gravestone. Is like, I'm gonna honor that life. So it gave me purpose. And it just became like a release for me to where the pedals would spin and I would get out of my head for a little bit. Physically, I was starting to feel better. I could see the improvements, and I've tracked my data over the past year, and it's phenomenal on the growth that I've had on a bike.
He's just on a mission, and
is relentless about it. Every day he pushes it. From the loss of his brother and a number of different trauma that he had gone through in his life, it was absolutely critical for him to find something that he could sink his teeth into. I think he's taken the ball and run with it with Mission 22, especially the R&R, the recovery and resilience part. I think it makes him stronger in the person that he is today.
I don't know why I fell on the bike. It was just like, okay, it called to me, and then I kept going. So that scene from Forrest Gump where he just starts running one day and it ends up in Monument Valley in Utah? He's like, I'm tired, I think I'll go home now. I'm not tired yet. I'm not ready to throw the towel in like Forrest Gump did. I'm getting on that bike and I'm keeping on going because there's something about it. There's something about just getting out in nature, having that breeze in your face and seeing some of the beautiful landscape here in Las Vegas where it takes you away from the stressors and the challenges of the world for a little bit. And you can just appreciate the beauty that is out there and be in the moment. And then it got serious because the Air Force enrolled me in the Air Force Wounded Warrior program and it got transformed into lo and behold training. If I do this well, maybe I can go represent the Air Force. Maybe my grief and everything in my entire story can come to fruition because I can put the energy into something positive. If I made the team, I'd just be overwhelmed with emotion. I suffered a lot of my trauma because of my military service, but at the end, it's like, I gotta be grateful that I'm allowed to compete in this because there are others who didn't make it home or lost the war at home that's what it's about.
Oh my gosh, everybody. I am so excited. My heart's pumping. My hands are sweaty. Please welcome our very own Director of the Air Force Wounded Warrior Program, Colonel Rich Obert. Over to you, sir.
Welcome, warriors and athletes. Today we're going to announce the 2021 Air Force Team for Warrior Games. The selection was difficult as there were many hardworking and deserving individuals, and the work and dedication was apparent by all. I know the suspense is killing you, so I'll turn it back over to Marcia. Good luck to each of you. Back to you, Marcia.
All right, thank you, sir.
Starting us out from Air Education and Training Command, Major Daniel, Lieutenant Dan Cariña.
Yes, yes, yes. Air Combat Command, out of Texas, Master Sergeant Nicole Nikki Favuza.
From Valdosta, Georgia, Technical Sergeant retired Antonio Del Vecchio.
From East Liberty, Ohio, Airman retired Pete Murphy.
Technical Sergeant retired Margie Hinkle.
And coming up next, former pole vaulter, that is very similar to Blaze Velarde, coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada, Master Sergeant retired Chris Jacksomek.
Warrior Games competitor back on the team, Staff Sergeant retired Joseph Alex Pate.
What? He did big things back in the day. He's gonna do big things. Coming to you from St. Henry.
Wow. We look at Mission 22 and we see all the shirts, we see all the flags out there. I don't think enough of the people understand how big the programs actually are and how that is actually in there. And like, I'm a benefactor from the donations of these private donors that are there to allow me to live life, to improve life for not only myself, but for friends, for fellow veterans, for my children, for my girlfriend, for my family, is to be that, to say, you know what? We can keep going at the end of the day. We can keep going, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how difficult life becomes, we can keep going.
We have this value in the Air Force, this belief that a wingman concept. We're gonna take care of each other. We've got each other. And there gives us hope, right? And so if you have been knocked down, I say this a lot, by the baseball bat of life, right? You're on the ground. If you know that someone's got you, it's got your six, no matter what, that's gonna help you get back up again. And that's part of Mission 22, I think, for him. That connection, that human connection, that's what's gonna save us. Yeah, that's what saved him. He can be a light in darkness. No matter how dark that spiral is, to know that someone got back up again and navigated their way out, that they can get through it too, that they are not alone. Not for one moment of one day. That's what he could be. He could be a beacon of light.
Welcome back to Lernerville Icon Sim Sports Veterans and First Responders Night. Is going to close out with the 410 sprint cars here at Lernerville. We are riding along with the Donovan Ross running your quick time with a 12.444 in the 5 machine. We've watched car after car go over the top here, so hopefully that isn't an indication of what's going to happen here later on this afternoon. Or tonight, I suppose. Ross Correnta back with us in the 010 machine. Kevin Fry, title sponsor of the 410 sprint cars. 2-1 Designs. Go on board with Kevin, see how he gets around the track in the 21 machine. Should be an interesting race. I believe this is the first time the 410s have visited Lernerville in Coast to Coast Racing League. Keith Jackson with us in the 01 machine. See Ross dive down low, gets in the grass, comes up underneath the 0-1 of Jackson. Pat Boyce in the 41 machine, Ohio driver, just finishing his practice run. Looks like they are in a driver's meeting. We will listen in.
We will not clear black flags during this race. There will be no wave arounds, no intentional contact. On the pace lap, maintain a steady pace between you and the car in front of you. Initial starts will be on green. No passing before the start-finish line. We'll be muting mics here in a minute. If you have any questions, please ask them now.
There you have it. Drivers getting last instructions in the drivers' meeting. Keith Jackson in the 0-1 still out on track with Corenta in the 0-1-0. Running that high line right on top of that line of danger. Looks like we have advanced to qualifying. We'll see who puts up qualifying quick time tonight. See who jumps out first. We got a great field. Looks like we got 26 drivers in the field. Good field for 410 sprint cars. Mr. Bob the Good is the first one out on the track in the 7 machine. Can-Am Racing team member. Jeff Valero, Kevin Fry, Landis Shreves, and Barker are your top 5 in points currently. Saw Jeff Valero put up the qualifying quick time in the midgets at Kokomo earlier tonight. Looks like Jeff is... Don't see Jeff in the field, maybe. Donovan Ross, Tyler Wilson to the top of the board with a 12.547. Patrick Spangler bests that with a 12.491. Daniel Vaught just finishing up. Terry Landis finishing up. Patrick Spangler finishing up. Spangler with a 12.491. Top of the board for Spangler. Stephen Goldner, we're trying to find somebody still on the track. Jamie McCarron in the 211 car. McCarron up to 6th quick. Roger Craig in the 747 machine. Roger Craig Racing driver. Currently 21st quick. Brendan Lacey with us in the 414 machine. Brendan Lacey, let's see how he does on his first lap. Lacey up 12th quick with a 12.630. Let's see if he can improve on his second lap. Vanderbilt Racing. Up to 6th quick. Bob Everson still out on the track. Everson currently 14th quick, getting some practice laps in. 21 car of Kevin Fry, currently 7th quick. The 12.845. Drivers taking any minutes they can get to get some extra laps here at Lernerville into 410. Kevin Fry driving for the firm in the 21 machine. The 2-1 Designs, title sponsor of 410 Sprint Cars this year. I'd like to thank Kevin for that. Let's put his car on the podium 3 or 2 of the 3 weeks. He was on a roll there for a while. It's 3 of the 4. Heat 1 is upon us. Nick Vickery in the 00. Randy Shreves on the front row. Jeff Valero, Patrick Spangler in row 2. Barker and Kemper in row number 3. Joe Canellis rounds out our field of 7 drivers. Going to be running 8 laps. Top 4 heading to the feature. There are a few cars that will go home tonight. Spartan Racing's Kevin Fry in the 00 car. Randy Shreves to his outside. They do invert the top 4. So your quick time qualifier, Patrick Spangler, puts the 39 car and the quick time. We talked to him after the midget race that just at Kokomo. Matter of fact, Falero to his inside in the 200, finished 1-2 in the last race. Vickery hit the wall late in that race on the last lap. Good looking 00 machine. They got 8 laps to get it done. Top 4 heading to the show. Pace truck is off. Start is on green. Vickery will bring us to the green flag. Again, 8 laps. Pace truck is off.
Green flag.
As is Randy Shreves gets a good jump on that top side. Vickery to the bottom side. 39 car trying to make it 3 wide. Shreves to the point. 39 car. Spangler gets a good run. Spangler running down low, 00 of Vickery up high, followed by Falero in the 200 machine. Running 1, 2, 3. Looks like the top is the quick way around. Shreves opens up a big lead, got over a half-second lap over Vickery, the 00 car. Falero in second, Spangler in fourth, your fourth and final transfer driver. Jeffrey Kemper in the 181 on the outside looking in. Barker in the 513, and Joe Canellis did not grid. Up front, Shreves with over a second gap. Patrick Spangler up to P2. Not sure what happened with Vickery. Shreves, Spangler, Kemper, Barker are your top 4. Jeff Falero now on the outside looking in. Barker in your fourth and final transfer position. Working lap 6 of 8. Shreves now setting sail in front of Patrick Spangler in the 39 machine. We saw those two do battle in the 305 sprint cars, I believe. Jeff Barker in a solid fourth position. Your fourth and final transfer position. Shreves up front. 1 lap to go. Shreves, Spangler, Kemper, Barker are your top 4. Barker looked like he was giving Kemper a run there for his money. Up front, Shreves. And that's how they will finish. Shreves, Spangler, Kemper, Barker transferring to the main, or to the feature. Everson Ross on the front row. Brennan Lacey and Corinta on row number 2. Vaught and Craig on row number 3. John Hine rounds out your field of 7 drivers. Telling you the 410s get around Lernerville super quick. Bob Everson in the 008 car will bring us to the flag with Donovan Ross to his outside. Ross was actually quick time in warm-ups, so watch the 5 car starting outside pole. Your quick time qualifier in this heat is Corinta in the 010 machine. Phantom Motorsports driver. Up front, 008 of Bob Everson will bring us to the green flag. Pace truck should give us 1 to go this time by. We will ride along on the start with the 010 Ross Corinta Phantom Motorsports driver. Tucking in behind Donovan Ross in the 5 car. See the pace truck in front of us exits the speedway. The start is on green.
Green flag, green flag.
Good start. Everson slides up in front of Donovan Ross in the 5 machine. Looks like Corinta went off the top side. Bob Everson in the 008 car with a great lead over the 747. Roger Craig up to P2, up 4 positions from the start. Daniel Vaught currently up to 3rd position. You got 3 cars in the pits. John Hine did not grid, I guess. So one of those 3 in the pits, whoever gets out back on the track is going to be your 4th and final transfer car. Roger Craig giving it a good run. Coast to Coast Racing League president, Roger Craig Racing 747. Daniel Vaught currently running in P3. Not sure what happened in the middle of the pack. I guess we missed that. Running lap 7 of 8. Now we are in the last lap. Looks like Roger Craig, Daniel Vaught are going to punch their tickets. Brendan Lacey currently sitting in the 4th and final transfer position in the pits. Everson, Craig is getting a battle from Vaught. It is Craig and Vaught. And it looks like Lacey will transfer. Heat 3, Boyce Jackson on the front row, Fry Wilson in row number 2, Landis and Rayner on row number 3. Ohio driver Pat Boyce will bring the 41 Ford machine out onto the speedway. Good looking Ford throwback paint scheme. Keith Jackson in the 01 to his outside. Watch Kevin Fry in the 21, the firm driver. Terry Landis is going to start P4. Only 5 cars took the grid. Tyler Wilson missing the grid. Pace truck is going to exit this time by. Again, we got 8 laps. Top 4 heading to the feature. Pat Boyce on the point in the 41 machine. Green flag is out. Good start. 0-1 of Keith Jackson gets a great run on the top side, as does Kevin Fry. Move Jackson to P1, Fry P2, Boyce falls back to 3rd. Terry Landis in the 4th and final transfer position. Trying to get underneath the 41 car up front. Jackson leading the way in the 0-1. Kevin Fry in P2. Those two got nose to tail pretty quick. 61 car got underneath the 41 of Boyce. Takes over P3. Pat Boyce falls back to 4. John Rayner Jr. up to 5th position. Front 2 opening up a gap on Terry Landis. Landis currently 3rd in the points. Fry 2nd. Running up on the berm there. Great driving by these drivers. Looks like John Rayner Jr. went over the top there. Working lap 7 of 8, Keith Jackson from the start in the 0-1 machine, followed by Kevin Fry. Terry Landis and Pat Boyce will be your 4 transfer drivers. Lap car down low, but it will be Jackson, Fry, Landis, Boyce, your top 4 transfer drivers to the feature. P4, Boutte and Goldner on the front row. McCarron and Cramner in row 2. Bob the Good and Mike Cramner, father-son, on the inside, starting P4 and P6, or on the outside, my apologies. '95 car's been strong all night. See what he can do in the SSR machine. Watch the 007 or the 07 of Cramner starting on the outside, your quick qualifier of the group. 4 cars will transfer to the feature once again. We got 8 laps to get it done. Michael Berthet will take us to the green flag in the 95 machine. .30 car of Goldner to the outside. Vanderbilt Racing, Stephen Goldner. Green flag is out. The 95 car is off. 95 car down low. Will he slide up and get outside? Yes, he will. 30 car of Stephen Goldner to P2. Goldner dives down low. Slide job on the 95. 07 of Preston Cramner up to P3. Jamie McCarron in the 4th and final transfer position. Looks like Goldner's going to set sail on the field. 95 of Brute in 2nd. Preston Cramner running that low line, trying to make something happen down low. Doesn't get a good drive off of turn 4. Mike Cramner now up to P4. Father-son 3-4, looking for a transfer to the feature. Preston Cramner gets into that bottom grass. Up front, Stephen Goldner getting around the track in a big hurry. Vanderbilt Racing number 30 car. Working lap 5 of 8. Bruce Hay in 2nd. Preston Cramner in the 07 car in 3rd. Mike Cramner in the 70, currently running 4th position. Cramner gets loose. Bob the Good, put Bob the Good up to the 4th and final transfer position. Goldner opens up over a 2nd gap over the 95 of Brute. Preston Cramner trying to punch his ticket, trying to move up 1 position. Bob DeGood in the 4th and final transfer position, battling out with the 70 car of Mike Cramner. This is the last lap. Looks like the 30 car of Goldner is going to bring home P1. Cramner and Brute at the line. Great run by Preston Cramner on the last lap. Couldn't quite get it done. Bob the Good holds off Mike Cramner at the line. B main, we find Jeff Valera on the front row with Donovan Ross. Rayner and Cramner in row number 2. Vickery and Corenta in row number 3. Wilson and McCarron in 4. Canellis and John Hine in row number 5. Rounds out your field of 10 drivers. Eight of the 10 will transfer, so 2 cars heading home. depending on how many grid, of course. Valero going to bring him to the green flag with Donovan Ross to his outside. Everyone heading to the feature. 2 cars did not grid. Green flag is out. They are racing for starting position in the feature. 200 car down low. Will he slide up and get in line? Yes, he will. Donovan Ross in the 5 car falls into P2. Donovan Ross getting a good run off that top side. Can't quite pull the slide job on the 200 of Valero. Jamie McCarron back in P number 3. Mike Cramner off the pace there. Vickery in P4. Up front, Jeff Valero with a half-second gap over Donovan Ross in P2. Jamie McCarron in the 211 car in P3. Nick Vickery in the 00 in P4. Again, everybody is going to transfer to the feature. Tyler Wilson in the 42, battling it out with Mike Cramner. Jeff Valero almost a second gap over the 5 car of Donovan Ross, working lap 6 of 10. Jamie McCarron up to P3. Not sure what happened to Nick Vickery in P4. Looking at my board, I guess I'm mistaken. No one went off the top, I suppose. Valero right on that top line, right on the edge. Great run by the 200. Donovan Ross trying the bottom line, as is McCarron in the 211 car trying the bottom line. Nick Vickery, P4. 1 lap to go. Jeff Valero up front in the 200. Jeff has 2 more corners to make. Coming up on lap traffic. Valero, Donovan Ross in second. Corrienta makes a pass on Wilson late. Valero, Ross, Corrienta, Wilson, McCarron, Nick Vickery. I don't know what happened to the 00 car. Nick might have went off the top. We will have 3 minutes of warm-up, so we will be right back. Welcome back. We are just finishing up warm-ups. Got about 15 seconds to go. This should be quite the show. We will have a full feature of 24 cars take to the track. We've seen quite a few drivers dive off the top edge here at Lernerville, so we will see how this plays out. "30-lap feature. Jeff Valero or Randy Shreves will start on the front row. Shreves Everson, row 1. Keith Jackson, Goldner in 2. Patrick Spangler and Roger Craig are in row number 3. Fry Berthet in 4. Kemper Vaught in 5. Landis Cramner in 6. Preston Cramner, Jeff Barker, Brennan Lacey in 7. Pat Boyce, Bob the Good in 8. Falero, Donovan Ross in 9. Corintha Wilson in 10. Jamie McCarron, Nick Vickery in 11. John Rayner Jr. and Mike Cramner round out your field of 24 drivers for a packed feature here at Lernerville. This should be exciting. Randy Shreves starting from the pole with Everson to his outside. Watch that 30 car, the outside. Stephen Goldner had a great run in his heat race. The Bandy built 30 machine. Great start by Roger Craig in the 747 car, starting 6th. See if Roger Craig can keep the 747 up front. Kevin Fry back in 7th position in the 21 machine. But up front, Randy Shreves will bring us to the green flag. Pace truck should exit this time by LGR Motorsports driver. "30 laps to get it done." This start is on green. After this, restarts will be on the leader. Green flag is out. Shreves is off. Great start. Wing to wing with the 008 of Everson. Shreves got a good run off the bottom, so he was able to pull up in front of the 08. 08 off the top. The caution does come out. We are under our first caution. Not sure what happened. Looks like McCarron tries to dive underneath. 200 car Falero comes down on the 2 car of McCarron. Up front, 56 of Shreves. They are waiting for the pace car to get caught up. Single file restart in sprint cars. No big movers. Of course, that was only lap 2 of 30. Once the track wears in, the bottom comes in. That should be interesting once we get 2 lines of racing going here. And the middle can be kind of stout late race. Also, if you can run through the slick. Shreves, Everson, Jackson, Goldner, Spangler in P5. Roger Craig in 6. Fry, Berthet, Kemper, and Vaught round out your field of 10 drivers. Or your top 10, my apologies. Randy Shreves will bring us back to the green flag. Restart is on the leader this time by 56 car of Shreves with control of the field. Shreves is off. Shreves with a good jump on the field. Goldner now moves up to P2. Quick caution. It's like Kevin Fry and Brute and a host of others. Randy Shreves still up front, waiting on the pace truck to get by. Steven Goldner moves up to P2, gets by. Can't remember who was running P2. Shreves, Goldner, Craig, Fry, Kemper, your top five. We are coming back to the green flag. No, we have one more lap. Didn't see the pace truck there in front of Randy Shreves. We will go on board with Goldner for this restart and see what it looks like from the 30 car. Pulls up next to Shreves. Let him know he's there. Vanderbilt Racing Machine. Pace truck is off.
Green flag, green flag.
Shreves gets a good jump. Goldner trying the low line. Shreves with a good run off the top side. They swap low and high on separate ends of the track. Saw lap traffic on the low side. Looked like Boyce down low. 30 car pulls up alongside the 56. Will he make the pass this time by? Will he slide up? Yes, he will. Put Goldner to the point with Shreves falling back to second position. Goldner blocks that low line. Roger Craig running a great race, currently in P3. Kevin Fry on the high side gets by Roger Craig. Goldner and Shreves up front decide to fall in line. 1-2. Kevin Fry trying to make up ground in the 21 car. 2-1 Designs 21 machine, title sponsor of the event. And the Fur Motorsports. Kevin Fry running in third position. Roger Craig battling out with Brennan Lacey. Roger Lacey goes by and Falera goes by on the high side. Looks like that high side is still pretty quick. A lot of cars still up there trying that high side. Shreves goes down low. Gets underneath Goldner for a moment. Working lap 9 of 30. Kevin Fry in the 21 car in P3. Brennan Lacey in the 414 machine battling it out with Kevin Fry. Closing in on the 21 car of Fry. Jeff Falero in the 200 machine. Donovan Ross in the 5 moves up to P6. Roger Craig in the 747 car. Spangler with a good run on the top side. Gets above the 747 car. Track is starting to slicken up a little bit. That bottom may come in. Up front, Randy Shreves and Goldner are still going at it. The 56 car of Shreves trying to get underneath the LGR Motorsports driver. Kevin Fry throwing it in high. Kevin Fry off the top in turn 3. Might put an end to his good night. That moves Donovan Ross in the 5 car up to P3. And the caution finally comes out. Terry Landis in the 61 car. Been a good run so far. Goldner and Shreves battling it out at the front of the field. Five car letting those two know that he's back there. Goldner, Shreves, Ross, Spangler, Wilson, Craig are your top 5, top 6. Good run for the 747 tonight, up to P6. Lights are off on the pace truck. Goldner will bring us to the green flag. Restart is on the leader. Working. Goldner followed by Shreves. Donovan Ross in the 5 car running that high side. Spangler in the 39. You saw Spangler dive down low. You see Shreves down low. 2 by 2, 5 car getting a good run off the top side. 56 car Randy Shreves be able to hold him off this time by. Donovan Ross in the 5 cars on a mission on the high line. Got a lap car down low. Stephen Goldner on the point currently. Shreves and Ross side by side. Shreves almost got into Ross. It moves Shreves back to the P4. Got off the throttle for just a second. Moves him back to P4. Working lap 19 of 30. John Rayner Jr. on his side over the top in turn 3. Stephen Goldner on the point. Goldner, Ross, Spangler, Shreves, Wilson are your top 5. We do have one more time around for the pace truck, it looks like. Pace truck should exit this time by Goldner on the point. Donovan Ross to the rear bumper. Both cars running that high line. See the 39 of Patrick Spangler looking down low. Shreves and Goldner still battling it out front. Spangler trying to get into the mix, slides underneath the 5 car. I'm sorry, Shreves fell back to P4. 5 car, Donovan Ross to the point. Don't know what happened. Spangler looked like Goldner looked like he got loose in the 30 car. Donovan Ross to the point. Patrick Spangler in the 39 car up to P2. Goldner falls back to P3, gets up in front of the 56 car, so he doesn't lose any more positions. Not sure what happened. Yellow flag comes back out. Lap 25 of 30. Mike Cramner goes for a ride in the 70 machine. Donovan Ross puts the 5 car on the point. Now this brings the 30 car of Goldner to his rear tail tank there. So this might be interesting. Oh, Spangler in P2. My apologies. Working lap 25 of 30, so we are getting down to the last few laps. Ross, Spangler, Goldner, Shreves, Corinta are your top 5. Kevin Fry with a recovery back to P6. Kevin Fry might try to move up. He is currently second in points. Good points night for him as the leader of points, Jeff Falero, dropped out of the race early. Donovan Ross will bring the field to the green flag, working lap 24 of 30. Donovan has that top side figured out. 39 cars ventured down low. Goldner in the 30 car back in the 3rd position. Randy Shreves in the 56 car back to P4. Corinta in the 010 car on the rear tail tank of the 56. Kevin Fry up to P6. Terry Landis and Daniel Vaught get into an incident and turn number 2 look like. The 39 of Spangler made the pass on Donovan Ross. This could get interesting. Working lap 26 of 30. Ross falls back to P2, Goldner 3, Shreves 4, Corinta 5, Kevin Fry up to P6. So seconds into point standings, Kevin Fry is up to P6. See if he can't close out the night with a few passes here. Team SSR, Patrick Spangler in a 39 on the point, working lap 26 of 30, getting down there. Donovan Ross, Steve Goldner, Bandy Built, Randy Shreves in the LGR Motorsports machine. Pace truck is off. Spangler with a good start. Starts down low, slides up high. Shreves now closes in on the back of Goldner in the 30. Stephen Goldner gets a good run off that bottom side though. Oh, Shreves and Fry caught up in an incident in turn 3 and 4. Field waiting on the pace truck. Patrick Spangler, lap 27 of 30 at the front of the field. followed by Donovan Ross. This is going to be a shootout. Patrick Spangler probably wouldn't mind a couple more cautions coming out, doing this one lap at a time. Donovan Ross and Goldner want to see it go green. Kevin Fry up to P5, so his journey off track did not hurt his position. '39 car Patrick Spangler's going to bring him back. Pace truck is off. Spangler down low. Gets a good jump off that bottom side. Donovan Ross in P2. Goldner in 3. Goldner closes in on the back of the 5 car of Ross. Good job of not making contact. 30 car down. Run in the middle now. 2 laps to go. Spangler out front opens up a half-second gap over Donovan Ross in the 5 car. Steven Goldner now gets on that top line. Last lap up front. Spangler leading the way. Donovan Ross. Goldner may make a last lap attempt. Gets in the grass. Ross holds off Goldner. Corintha, Wilson, Fry with a big wreck at the finish line. Spangler, Ross, Goldner are your top 3. We will get a word with those drivers here momentarily. Great run for the 410s at Lernerville. A little bit nervous early, but didn't have as many cautions as I thought we might. Donovan Ross up 16 positions from the start. Good run for the 5 car. We will wait for them to come into the booth. Patrick Spangler is with us, waiting on Steven Goldner to come up and have a chat with us. The Vanderbilt machine. Still waiting on Goldner and Ross to join us, which they have not. There's Goldner. We will get a word with the 30 car of Steven Goldner, brings it home up 1 position, puts it on the podium, the Vanderbilt 30 machine. Stevens Joe, you got me?
Yeah, I got you, Joe.
Man, great run, brother. You were up front there for a while. It got a little dicey. You think if all the cautions didn't come out, you could have held them off?
I don't know. I think they were quite a bit faster than me. I was just trying to hold on. Really struggled tonight. I haven't run a 410 in months, it feels like, and definitely showed here tonight. So hopefully, if we're around in the next couple weeks, so we can get back into 410, we'll be a little bit better, hopefully.
Man, if this was bad for you in 410s, I would love to have one of your bad weeks since you put the 30 car on the podium. Great run by you, man. How'd the track change? Did it get slick? I noticed, as normal, the bottom kind of came in late, but it didn't come in as good as it used. Where'd the track change?
It just got pretty slick. Tough to keep the tires on you. It felt like I haven't really run a fix set in a while, so I struggle with keeping the tires under me and not, lighting them up. But it's something we can improve on for later. The track was good. It was racy. There's a bunch of lines, so you can't complain about that. Lernerville, it's a tough place to get around. If you want to be up top, you got to have some laps in there, and I don't think I've been there in a while. So hopefully, next time we're in a 410, we'll be at a track I'm a little bit more comfortable at.
Yeah, when I heard Lernerville and 410s, I thought, oh, goodness, here we go. Great run by you, my friend. You got anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I gotta thank Alex at ABR Setup Shops, Ross Parenta at Velocity Race Designs, Fits Perfect Photography, Dirt Doctor Trucking, Bio.com, all the guys at Vandybilt for all the help they do, Wegman Brothers, you guys for the broadcast, Roger, and everyone for the league.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 30 car of Stephen Goldner says he has a bad night, finished P3, puts it on the podium. Great run by the 30 car. Hopefully we see you next week. And I don't even know where we're at, but maybe it'll be a bigger track.
Yeah, even the short track's fine. It's just I just don't have many laps here lately, so I was kind of scared to run up top. So hopefully, we get a different track and we'll be hopefully a couple spots better.
Yeah, man. Great run for you, my friend. We'll see you next week.
Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, the 5 car of Donovan Ross, we watched him early in warm-ups put up the quick time. We actually talked about him throughout the broadcast. The 5 car moves up 16 positions to put it in P2. Donovan Ross, this is Joe. You got me?
Hey, Joe. How we doing tonight?
Man, you know what? I'm not as good as you, man. What a great run by you. Did you have anything for Patrick Spangler there in the end?
I don't think so. What I had through the middle of the race there, and we got that yellow, and I think he had been behind me long enough there. He knew what I was doing when I was doing it, so he just kind of used me up, and away he went, and I tried to hold on to second.
Yeah, man, great run. I was actually watching and thinking he would have probably liked cautions to come out to do those last few laps one at a time, but great run by you. How'd the track change? Where were you running? What was your line?
Ran the top most of the race. The beginning of the race, kind of enter on top, go to the middle, but just tiptoeing just very lightly on the throttle around the top. And normally I go sailing off over the edge and into the Thule's. So to get a finish is good. To run second's good. So we'll take her.
Yeah, and up 16 is absolutely fantastic. You got anybody you'd like to thank for your finish?
Oh, Keith and Jack and Brian Sr., those guys, Premier Door, All in Construction, Rudine Racing, Race Rudine Foundation. So thank you guys for the broadcast, and Roger for the league. It's seems like this thing is rolling really good, the whole league.
Yeah, man, it's great to be a part of. I enjoy every day of it. Ladies and gentlemen, the 5 car of Donovan Ross moves up 16 positions to put the 5 car on the pole. Great run by you, my friend. We'll see you next week.
Thanks again. Have a good night.
Yes, sir. You too. The 39 car, Patrick Spangler, moves up 4 positions and puts the 39 into victory lane. Patrick, this is Joe. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Great run, man. Looks like you were in a battle there for a while. You were able to get by. How'd you get by those when you were running second, third? How'd you end up getting to the point there?
At the beginning, I was right behind him at the beginning, and then there's that wreck right in front of me, and then I saved it, but then Fry got me in the side and flipped me over, so I had to take a quick repair and start last. I got back up there, and then I knew I was quicker because I could see the lap times, and I just had to time the slide jobs to pass them there, and then Goldner got loose on the 1, so that's how I got past him, and then hit that slider in 3 and 4, and the caution came out where I got to start first, and I'm pretty confident at this track, so I'm just hoping not to go over the edge.
Yeah, this track, I was just, we were talking to Donovan Ross when I heard Lernerville and 410s. I thought, oh, goodness, here we go. But, man, it turned out to be a great night for you. You got anybody you'd like to thank for your win?
Thank Team SSR. Dad and Uncle back home watching, for you broadcasting, Roger for running the league, the wife for hopefully not killing me right now because we'll be watching a movie. And that's about it. So I'm going to hop off here.
All right, man. Great run by you. We'll see you next week, buddy.
Sounds good. See you next week.
All right, man. Take care. So there you have it. There is another 410 race. This was kind of an experiment early in the year by Coast2Coast Racing League. Looks to be a huge success. We had a real good turnout tonight. And I'd like to thank all those of you who tuned in and watched the Icon Sim Sports Veterans and First Responders show. We will be back next week, and we appreciate it, and we will see you next time.